What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Here's my part 2 of my personal story on saving $20,000 as a student. If you haven't seen part 1, I'll leave it linked in the description. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more future investing and finance related content, and leave a like on the video to support the channel. Without further ado, let's get into the content. My third piece of advice is having a plan of where you put your money and what you're spending it on. So for example, my weekly paycheck, I'll divide it into different areas. So I'll put 50% of it into buying essentials like paying rent, buying groceries. I'll put 10% into spending, and if you put 10% into this category, it stops you from feeling guilty by your spending habits because it's only 10% of your income. And you do need to allocate a percentage of your money into a spending category. It's not realistic to think to yourself, I'll just save all of my income that I don't use on buying essential things, because this can be quite a frustrating way to do it, because it's inevitable that you'll spend your money on things like going out for dinner, getting a coffee with your friend, and these are things that you should do and you shouldn't turn down, but there has to be a limit of how much is put on these types of things, and 10% is always a good benchmark. I'll put 20% of my money into savings, and this is for anything long term that I'm trying to accumulate money to pay for. So potentially overseas trip, if I want to get a new car, or if anything breaks, or some emergency money that I need. For example, if my car needs repair or I need to fix my laptop, that's where I allocate this 20% to. Keeping your money separate between different accounts that you used to pay for stops you from dipping in from one account to the other. So you don't take your savings money out and use it to pay for, say, a coffee or dinner or new clothes, or use your necessities money to fund a trip overseas. It's all separate, and ideally you want things to be automatic. So if it's possible for you to set up an automatic payment with your bank and create separate accounts listed essentials, spending, savings, is a good way to get started with it, because you don't want to be thinking about it every day and manually transferring between accounts. The more automatic and the less that you have to think about it, the better it will be, and the more effective the strategy will be. And finally, the last 20% of my income is spent on investing. And this leads me to my fourth and most valuable point that I have, is starting to learn how to invest. Now, when you invest, it gives you a long-term goal of what to do with your money. It makes you much more conscious of what you're doing with your money, because the more income you have invested, the greater the return and the greater profit you can make. For example, if you have $1,000 invested and you make a 10% return, you've made $100. But if you had $10,000 invested and you make a 10% return, you'd make $1,000. It makes you much more motivated to keep your money and use it wisely, because you know the more that you have invested, the more there's a potential to make a profit. If you are interested to learn how to invest, I'll leave a video linked on the screen and in the description where I give you a step-by-step guide on how you can learn to start investing. That wraps it up for the video. I hope you found the content useful and you can use these tips to improve your finances, and feel free to check out more content on the channel for some more beginner friendly investing advice.